This is the reference I'm using. 0 at the top, 90 at the right, 180 at the bottom, 270 off to the left. Rotating around in this direction to approach 360 in continuous increases, and rotating to the left to go minus.
Okay. Sounds
Seeing
good.
that, you're going to say something, Charles?
No, that sounds good.
Okay, so knowing that, all right, so we are back into the builder, and I'm running a short of time, so I'm going to really blaze through this, and we'll have to kind of come back to it later, because I want to show something to folks here.
Well, we're kind of laying the groundwork for the math and for the coordinate system and for all that kind of stuff like that. So yeah, we could come back next time to do, the basic turret itself.
Yeah, I'd kind of like to break down the details a little more maybe next time, and just give people the high level.
Mm-hmm.
So here in the laser turret, back to the laser turret, the way it works is they all have the same signature. They all have the same function, which is create. You pass it a layers, the data, which is the record that's describing the thing we're currently building, and a table to put pieces in. Again, I've said this on previous episode. The only thing that goes in pieces is anything that can be considered a gravity object, basically the platforms. So this is a piece that goes in the pieces thing. The turret here, the little red guy, and the rocket, those things do not. Okay, we have from previous episodes, I've talked about this. This example comes with what I call nice graphics, and you can call it ugly graphics, whatever you want. I'm maintaining that here. So for our turret in this case is built up of a circle, which is going to be a platform. You can actually jump on the turret platform, and you can touch the barrel. That doesn't matter, as long as you don't get shot. So I'm just going to use the same image that we've used previously, these circles. You'll notice, however, that I made the circles a little bit smaller than the regular platform. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to draw these turrets with the edge kind of sticking out. It just looked better. I could have made it the same size, but it didn't look good to me. So this is just like the round piece. I've got the pretty one that uses the Kenny art, and then I've got a circle if I were doing the ugly version, or I had the nice graphics mode turned off. Let's ignore this bit. This is just the label that tells us the distance, and we got it in debug mode. That's basically what I did here was I copied the round builder, and then I started to add code to it. So this stuff is all the same code as was previously in the round. So we've talked about it before. It hasn't changed, with the exception that I made a new variable called turret size, and that's a little bit smaller than the normal platform size. Here's where it gets interesting. So the first thing we do to make this different is I create another piece of artwork using an image from the Kenny collection of free art that I have and I'm using to build this game. And I think it was one of the pieces that was used to design like aircraft or spaceships, and I copied it and renamed it to turret because it looked like a turret to me, and that's what I'm doing. It's not a spaceship anymore, it's a turret. So we create this little bit of art, which is this guy right here in red. And initially it is pointing up, which for me is 0 degrees. So that's the default position. I place it at the same position that I placed the piece that we just created, the platform. And then I store a reference to the turret in our platform piece. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to have it if I needed it for future scripts. So if I needed the platform itself to do something with its turret, I could do that, and it would have a reference to the turret that it owned, quote-unquote owned, and it would just make the coding easier for me. So if you recall what I said earlier, the laser turrets, let's start the game again here, and go to level 6. Turrets come in these options where they can point up, they can point to the right, down, and to the left, or they can point at 45-degree angles, basically the same, upper right, lower left, upper left. All that code is done here. So if you recall, our level markers look like this. They have a letter, an underbar, and then a number. Now the number is the subtype for that one. So the subtypes for the laser turrets basically tell me what direction should it be facing. If the subtype is 1, like, let's find the laser turret, J. So we've got J3 there. So J3 would be here, and that means rotate the turret to 180 degrees, which would mean that it is pointing downward. That's this one right here. So if we wanted this one to point to the left, we would make that a J4. Save it, reload it. I got to run down there to find it. And now it's pointing to the left. Of course, that's not what I want because it doesn't make this level very difficult to play if it's pointing to the left. But the point is using this format, we have a very easy way to lay out our turrets and choose an angle. Now, I just want to say that at this point, this system that I have encouraged us to use is starting to break down. It's hard for me at this point to remember what the different labels mean, like which turret or which laser thing or whatever it is, and I'm running out of letters. So this may very well go through a future change, and I want to push this out there now before we go on. Think about it in a future show, or if you're watching and you want to write back in the forums, or when Charles posts this in the blog. If you guys think we should do a editor, then let us know. Let me know, because we could definitely do an editor. I just avoided it because I wasn't sure how far we were going to take this game, but I think that at this point, having so many different things, if we had an editor, that would really open up the level design, and I think it would also be a useful topic for people to understand how easy it is to write editors for your games in Corona.
I think it's a great idea.
So we've done an editor before, and it's really the same principle. It's quite simple.
Yeah, but I think we talked about this last time where we said this game has kind of taken on a life of its own, and it's got a good code base, and so it would be great just to continue with that example. That way people can kind of tie it all together.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be cool. And it'd be enough for people to really take that and do something with it.
Yeah, yeah.
So what have we got so far? So far we've drawn the base, the little circle, and we've drawn the turret, and we've rotated it. Now what we need to do is the bit where we start firing, and we create a projectile, and we do something with that. So if we get down here to line 87, again in laser turret, what I decided was the easiest way to do this was simply to use a timer, and every so many seconds to fire a projectile for the laser turret, the non-rotating one.